Okay, Chuck, the consideration of the amending the general fund budget?
Yes, behind tab 8 is the resolution 2022-03. Behind that, the exhibit is the actual proposed amended budget for the general fund for fiscal year 2022, and this is really one of those
Fix it?
in an abundance of caution kind of amendment. As you'll see going down through the first two columns there where you have your actual 2022 versus what your budget was, you'll notice the bottom line is that your expenditures did not exceed significantly. There was about $2,900 difference between actual versus budget. However, what we have programmed in is a budget amendment of $37,593 to bring your overall amended budget for appropriations up from $517,172 to $555,956. That's just to ensure if we had any latecomer invoices that need to be accrued back to 2022, that we have sufficient amount of money there to cover those and not have to come back to you for another budget amendment or tolerate having a finding in your audit, which is well underway at this point. So any of that doesn't get spent, you know the drill, it just falls back down into surplus fund balance. So
I make a motion to accept resolution 2023-03.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The financials. We have all of November's, but we did not have all of December's, and was that because Rowie had the issue with the, Jeff?
Yeah, she's having issues with the IFC report coming from Gulf Now Business Solutions.
Okay.
Back and forth. They got November, I think she got December the first part of last week.
Okay.
They just didn't have the time to finish the financials.
Okay, so we'll get December's full
Should be in the
report
week.
and January's next month. With that being said, I mean, this is 2 months. Does anybody have any questions or comments with the November budgets? The governmental funds seem to be doing good. We didn't have a whole lot of money come in November because the extended the tax payments to December. The interest for the revenue bond for the golf course was paid, so we just owe the $325 in May, and then we're done, which is nice. And the debt service, I'll give up all those. And again, with the capital projects and the new bonds, we're still working on that. The irrigation fund at this point, we're okay with that. Everything's been paid. Chuck, I know that currently John's group is doing shelving and stuff to go back into the new pump house. So you'll be getting that. I did tell him to get quality,
some commercial grade stuff.
Commercial grade stuff, because I wanted it to last, and they did get a commercial grade table where they can actually put a vise on there and some other stuff, so you'll be getting a bill for that. But I said, don't cheap it, we put this much money into it, make it right. So that at this point has $210,000 in the position. And again, with the irrigation fund, we only collected 3%, but that was because the taxes, I looked in December and we received more, but that was because the tax was delayed. The golf fund, as of last Friday, the cash we had on hand was $411,000, which was really good. And Jeff, we're up to date on all our accounts payable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Water as well?
I haven't seen water on accounts payable in a while, so I don't know there.
Okay, we need to make sure that we're getting charged for that. If you can check with Lucy to see why we haven't gotten that.
I will find out.
And again, this was kind of tough going through this since we didn't have everything, but the golf course is doing well. Building maintenance was really high. Do we know why? What we put in there in November? Can we check and see what was in building maintenance?
Building maintenance, yeah.
Because I'm not sure, I mean, we had $45,000, and I'm not sure if that's where it belonged or if it was something else.
Building maintenance, okay. I'll check into it.
Okay, we've exceeded the budget by a bit. Does anybody else have anything that jumped out?
I don't have anything that jumped out, but I just wanted some clarification. On the page 3, statement of revenues, expenses, changes, and that was a special revenue fund. What exactly is the collection fees and discounts? What is that made up of?
Page 3.
Page 3, December financials.
Oh, December.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I thought we had moved to December because you were talking about not having everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
My bad.
That's okay, we're in December,
You
page 3.
just said, no, December, we
Yes.
don't have everything, so I thought you moved to December.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What was your question?
Collection fees and discounts, $16,727. What exactly is that?
Let me get clarification on that.
Okay.
That's kind of vague.
I didn't mean to jump. I
Oh, no, that's fine, because,
December, and I jumped over to December.
that's fine. Okay.
I don't think we got an answer, did we?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, they gotta look at it.
Yeah, because it wasn't on the November.
Yeah, I didn't see it in November.
It's not in November, but it is in
All of a sudden showed up.
So I guess
Yeah.
it sort of did affect November too, because I was
Yes.
like, I didn't see it in November.
November, but now it's in December.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I had nothing else for for any of that. We'll have Chuck check that out, and we'll have the full December and January financials at the next meeting. So can I have a motion to accept these as sketchy as they are?
Do we need two motions, or just one with both November and December?
You can make one, but
Okay.
if you want to do it for both of them.
Okay, for November and December?
I'll second it.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we're going to go on to the minutes. Correct? We're getting there. Okay. On page 1, it was just the irrigation that we're going to work with John and go through. Have we heard any more from the guy that was going to do the photographs and cut the trees down? He was going to go to the village and...
Actually, I got some pictures from him, so.
Okay.
open
We're
up
working
that-
on it.
Open up that dialogue, yes.
Okay. Okay, on line 48, I was seat 5, not seat 1. Okay, and did fill seat 4. Do you have any comments on page 2 or 3? Okay. Next page. Okay, on line 140, it's Elizabeth Hanson. You just need her last name there. And after this, I'll discuss what we're doing with the landscaping.
Line 107,
107? Yes?
Greg Rathel is Assistant Secretary.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Chuck, your secretary?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's just so if we need to sign something over in the corporate office, he hasn't got to chase somebody around, so.
I remember seeing that before.
Yeah.
He's also your treasurer, and our controller is your assistant treasurer.
Okay. Anything on page, I did Elizabeth on page 4, page 5? On line 199, Ms. Huff stated that she wanted confirmation. I didn't confirm. I wanted confirmation that Miramar had filed for insurance.
On line 201, Mr. Adams stated the CDD is not responsible.
Is not, correct. Have we heard any more, done any more with the gentleman that cut the cypress trees down and replanted the palm trees?
No, I did not. So I would do that.
Okay, please. So other people don't start doing that. Okay. I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything with the
9301 is Chris.
301, yeah.
301 is Chris, not me.
301? Okay. Chris Brady. Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. For the board, Bill Simonson, do you have anything?
As I ask every meeting, can we have more 6 o'clock meetings?
We'll change that next year.
You keep saying that. You said that last year, too.
We'll change one. We'll change another one. Okay.
So that, wait a second.
Chuck, can we
No,
change?
we could change. I mean, we could look at a date and see what you want to change. As long as it's at least 30 days out, we can change the schedule.
Right.
Well, the February meeting was always in the PM, and now it's in the AM.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, too.
We did change that to we did change the February meeting back to a PM meeting.
I was thinking the same thing. Because I was looking at this as well,
Yeah.
because I had to rearrange. I had a meeting today that is on my calendar, and no big deal, I had to rearrange it.
But no, the February meeting we
There
did,
was one
the February meeting we did change back to a 6 o'clock meeting
so that's incorrect on this.
on this sheet, yes.
Okay, I'm good.
Got that?
I got one.
Okay, you got one.
It's a 9 a.m. According to the calendar, it's a 9 a.m.
Right, but we did change it to a 6.
We do have one in the middle of the season at 6 for sure.
That's
So,
February.
I thought it was always February.
Yeah, that's what I
But
was
we-
thinking, too.
We changed it to 9 a.m. and then we changed it back to 6 p.m.
All right.
So February is a
Did you make
6
a motion?
We
p.m.
will advertise for
Yes.
6.
So we're going 6 on February?
Yep.
6 on February.
Do we need to make a motion?
No, because we already changed it, I thought, but, okay.
Now,
We'll make a
we're all
motion.
getting older.
What was that?
Multitasking, too
I
much.
think the consensus is 6 p.m. We'll make sure we get the ad in there, and we'll change it to 6. So
6,
make sure
okay.
your calendars reflect the correct time.
Okay, 6 p.m.
On 28.
28.
Okay. Phil Allen?
By me.
Adam?
Yeah, 2 things. Number 1, I did spend some time, I guess, with Crosby, going through the financials, just trying to understand how the coding and everything works. I'm going to spend some time with John and Jeff. I'm going to make an appointment with you two just to sit down and go through the P&Ls. The second thing is just following on Chris's comment, I guess, at last meeting about the building. It's like 6 months now we've owned a building, and I'd be really interested to see some more stuff from Lisa as well, namely the inspection or what we had done with the property once we acquired it and what the maintenance schedule looks like. So I don't know what that looks like, but we're going to be quickly.
A lot of it is CDD.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa has, she's not getting all the accounting information, so I suggested that she go directly to Jeff Pinder. Chuck?
I think I saw dialogue between her and Lucy as of late, right?
Yeah, so get that from
Lucy's
Lucy.
probably going to be the one
Okay.
for most of it. She'll be doing the
Yeah, because
legwork.
I need budget information. I mean, I can go on 2022, but, you know, I need to let Duffy's know and you guys know. There's just been little
Gap.
financial communication, but yeah.
Okay, we'll work with Lucy then,
All right.
okay?
Yeah,
You sure?
yes. And
Okay.
anything she needs, she's right next door to Jeff in the office, so
Okay, good.
Okay,
let her do it.
Okay.
very
All right,
good.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and then,
Yes, we do set monthly reports. but
Right.
If we need to,
so you send them to Chuck, and then Chuck will send them off to all of us.
okay.
Either that, or I can give you the distribution list and you can send them direct.
Oh, she can send it direct, we just can't, okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, to each member?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
okay,
Okay, good. That has a little inspection sheet in the back.
okay. And Chuck, can I, we did get the report from Lisa with the payment from Duffy's?
Percentage rate.
Yes.
Percentage rate.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know that
Scratching my
during
head.
the, last year, when we were going through all that, and I said that, you know, we would get the rent, we would get a percentage rent at the end of the year, we are getting just over $70,000
Additional funding.
from Duffy's.
Receivables, yeah.
Anything over, we get 5% of sales, anything over $2 million.
Gotcha.
So we're getting $70,000, a little over that, so,
So that's above and beyond the rent they're paying?
Yes.
And the CAM and everything else?
yes.
Cool.
That's just
Great.
what we get at the end of the year, so it's an additional $70,000, so,
We used to build the patio.
Yeah.
To create more revenue.
right, okay,
Exactly.
very good. Chris, do you have anything?
The only thing is just, and obviously we hit on at the beginning, is this irrigation thing.
Okay.
And we've got to get this fixed because it has been dragging for some of these people for a long time. We're dealing with small amounts, typically small amounts of
Right, but still.
money. So most people are very understanding, but at the end of the day, they are getting frustrated because this has been going on for months.
Right.
And I think also just to educate everybody, and we're residents, so we know, I think some people get frustrated because they call billing, and billing says, well, there has to be a reread. Well, they don't know, so is billing talking to maintenance? What's...
You don't know where the
Yeah, and
disconnect
so
is.
people, and then they send us an email saying, this is what I've done. And everybody's done, at least the 5 people that contacted me really did a good job of documenting everything, so it was easy to follow on my side. But there's also a disconnect, I think, on our end as far as, Chuck, who's answering, who's ultimately responsible for answering these questions, other than us as a board and me monitoring an email, even myself. I send it to you, I send it to John, I'm like, all right, and then, it gets sent to Crosby.
There is dialogue between utility billing, which is Coral Springs Improvement District, and your field crew.
Okay.
There is
Yes.
a letdown between what's going on in the field, so that's something we've got to get our arms around. I think assigning another person is...
Is
as
the
you
smart
said,
way to go.
Crosby is overloaded.
Yeah, Crosby does great work for us, and,
But yeah,
but she's got a lot on her plate.
The way it's been handled isn't the answer.
Right. So I will work with John and Crosby and Jeff, and we'll
Yeah.
get this going.
To that point, the gentleman that brought it up, that had the excessive billing, he said to me that he looked at his meter, obviously it was off. He looked at his neighbor's meter and it was completely muddy. So that one hasn't, there's no way that's been read. So something's getting missed.
Okay. Thank you. I will talk to him.
You can't say that with certainty, because in a month's time, all it takes is one rain.
Rain and all the-
And that
Yeah.
crud builds up in those boxes, and those meters just get covered in dirt.
Yeah.
But they're right next to each other.
Just because
so
a
if
meter
it's
is
hurt-
dirty does not necessarily mean it
Well,
has.
true, but if they're right next to each other, they both got the same amount of rain.
But
Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just because a meter's dirty does not mean it hasn't been read.
True, but we
Because
need to-
it doesn't
we need to
take
figure it
long
out.
for those things to get pretty darn dirty.
Right.
Are y'all okay with just going with this square fire pit?
I would go with the one fire pit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Did I give you an image of this?
For Juniper, they were here last week. They are going to be starting in the next 2 weeks to do the main entryway. I will say that the 2 modules that are currently up there, one came down in the storm. The other 2 are going to be removed. The plantings under them are going to be removed. They will be putting up 3 royal palms, 5 bottle palms. We will be keeping the annuals at either end. There will be sod put in there. We're trying to make this as clean and maintenance, lower the level, but they'll still have all the annuals at either end. There will be a bottle palm put in front of the guard shack where that other odd one is coming out. Podocarpus is going to be put around there to hide the air conditioning units and all. The center median, all the lower shrubbery will be coming out. That will all be sodded. We are putting in, I believe, 3 more royal palms and 5 or 7 bottle palms, but we'll still have the annuals at either end. Then they will be starting on the 4-way stop. They're going to be doing all of that. And the cul-de-sacs. And I've instructed them to do a few cul-de-sacs at a time because I did not want all the cul-de-sacs stripped and it being 6, 8 weeks, 2 months before they're done. So they'll be starting that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll be doing some work there. And then once we get well into that, we will be sitting with them again to do the main road and in front of the community center, which we put on hold because of the possible construction they were doing last year. So that's all coming down. And we will be speaking to them about removing the ficus and putting, I think John was saying Calusa there to clean that up. Yes?
Where are we with the street lighting right now?
That's not my concern.
That's HOA.
That's HOA.
HOA?
There was a letter that came out
FPL.
from FPL, and they said they're hiring additional crews, and
Is there any way they can disconnect the light on Stony Brook Drive and get the pole off of the ground?
that's all
That's all the
FPL.
HOA. I don't have any contact with them. You can stop and I don't mean to push things aside, but I have no contact with Florida Power and
I
Light.
don't know if we can, because FPL owns,
That's right.
They own them all.
we lease those lights from FPL, so they're responsible for all.
Belongs to CDD, though.
I'm sorry?
Isn't the property CDD property?
It's CDD property, but it's...
They own the lights.
They own the lights.
You people in Florida got it all.
Oh, no, it's you.
I don't get it either. I don't know why as a resident, or as a community, we don't own our own streetlights.
Yeah,
Right.
We don't.
get it either. Probably because of a thoroughfare and
Cheaper for the developer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're buying the equipment and installing it, which would ate into your bond proceeds, which would ate into the
Does
bottom
FPL
line.
own the lights in the
Okay.
parking lot?
Just leave the community with the least power maintenance.
Does FPL own the lights in the parking lot, the clubhouse?
That, I don't
No.
know. I don't believe so.
Nope, sorry. It would be nice if they did, but they don't. Okay, anything else on the board? Yes, Jean?
Well, we have a lot of important issues here to discuss and that you guys have done a great job on, but I still have something that I've heard more and more comments on the golf course, and not sarcastic ones, but I'm just wondering, the ball washer issue, is that we're not going to ever have ball washing?
We're not going to have them.
Okay, that's interesting.
Phil? Phil Olive?
me?
Yeah, remember you discussed that other courses don't have
Yeah,
a ball washer?
I've played golf for 30-something. I've never used a ball washer in my life,
But
so.
okay,
I understand people.
You're not there.
No, I agree, but they're not on most of the golf courses that I've seen in
If they have dirt
Southwest
and mud,
Florida.
You got sand, that's,
Pardon?
any place that has dirt that creates mud, you'll have a ball washer. These places down here with sand don't seem to care.
Yeah.
I'll be darned, my balls.
I tend to get mud on my ball. I must be doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, my mud is on my
Stay in the
towel
middle of the
when I
fairway.
clean my balls.
That's the
So
point.
I don't know.
Put it in light.
Jeff, you have any comment on that?
I, like you, have never really used a ball washer, but, I kind of see maybe somebody might want them, or they could perceive something being taken away. But, John has been pretty adamant about the idea of taking them off, and it frees up a number of hours for his employees to do other things. And the bottom line, the golf course condition is the number one aspect. I mean, the ball washer,
Well, the other thing that John was saying was that the water gets really nasty,
Yeah.
especially in the heat. You put a bottle of water outside in this heat, it gets pretty nasty, so.
I don't really have an opinion on it, honestly. Honestly,
I'm with you.
I'd be lying if I said, yeah, get rid of them ball washers. I don't care.
Yeah,
think it's
I've
just
never
kind of
used one
whatever.
because I always felt those towels were kind of disgusting.
Yeah, that's
So-
John's, if John was here, he could speak to that.
Yeah.
Well, bring it up at the next meeting because it won't be as crazy.
What?
Bring it up at the next meeting. We won't have any guest speakers.
It don't matter, what do you
I'm not sure about that.
Right. Yes, Mike?
I was going to mention the ball washers as well. I've heard a lot of comments that they've been removed, a lot of complaints from guys that it was ridiculous, so just to add on, I wish John was here. The other thing is, another thing that I hear, I'm still hear a lot of comments about the cups, which you guys are reconsidering bringing cups back. It's ridiculous not to have cups at a golf course. And the last thing, the course, or two things, the course is in great condition. I got to tell you, the grades are beautiful, they roll nice. Can't thank you enough for that. It's terrific. I would like to see you do something on 13. There's so much sand in the face of that bunker, the balls just flat out disappear. I was there the other day, actually I was there twice, Friday, the ball with a 5 feet in the same place. And I was breaking afterwards, and there's a ball that came up, it wasn't mine.
It's Phil's.
Oh, it wasn't nice. Anyway,
Mine was shanked in water.
I love the way that hole looks, the play of it and everything. If we took sand off the face of that and pounded it in, I know that a lot of the great golf courses that I've played that have bunkers like that, it hits, it rolls down to the bottom, and now you got a shot back down the green. So I don't know how much work that would be to...
We can bring it up to John and ask him.
Take an extra club.
Don't go in the sand.
Well, he had that on the agenda for work for last summer. They were going to build a tongue in between and kind of soften the face, and he couldn't get a contractor. Remember, that was part of, we were going to do the putting green too.
Yeah.
And that was part of that same project, interconnected, and he couldn't get a contractor to do it. Now, there might be an in-house solution for sure, but I know we've talked, me and John have talked about it on a couple of times. And I agree, I mean, it is, I almost fall down trying to get in there.
Yeah, right.
That would be the one thing yeah.
Well, and to your point, that'll speed up play if we don't have balls
Oh, yeah.
plugging into that bunker.
When you...
And it disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, weren't you gonna put a pathway?
Yeah,
Yes.
tongue, like a,
And then, the storm came, and I think about it,
well, it wasn't really, Gene, really nothing to do with the storm. It was more about...
The vendor. We couldn't get a
Getting a
vendor.
physical contractor out to do it because they're all so busy.
Yeah,
And now you think after the storm?
oh, yeah, all right.
I mean, we'll try.
Yeah, just talk to John about that again.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, what are the hours in the driving range going to be once the credit card swipe?
So once the credit card swipe is operational, which should be any day now, the guys that close the cart barn will close that then when they leave, which is usually sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and it will expand as it gets darker. So
Later.
up to 9 o'clock at night, because they're there waiting for those last carts, and I told them, last thing on your job, pull it down, close it up.
Okay.
But it's well after dark, so people
yeah.
want to hit balls even.
I mean, in March and April and May, you're looking at 9:30.
Perfect.
Madam Chairman, one real quick thing, I know you gotta go. The consideration of moving some funds to pay down the bond early for the regrass.
Right.
Can we bring that up at the next meeting?
Yes.
And I have your answer on your building maintenance.
Okay.
I know where it is.
Okay. Okay. So Chuck will put that on for the next meeting. Okay. Tony, do you have anything else?
Nope, nothing for me.
Chuck? Nothing. Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry it was so long, but I think it was well worth it.